Got enough to start it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to go ahead and call the meeting to an order. At this time, I'd ask Councilman Vice Chair Kenneth Boudreaux to lead us in a word of prayer, and Councilman Keith Patan for the pledge.
Heavenly Father, as we gather here to conduct the business of the Lafayette Consolidated Government, I ask that you oversee our thoughts, our actions. We ask that you have safe travel for those who are coming to this place to meet. And as we leave this place later, we also have safe travel back home. We ask that you continue to protect our men and women in law enforcement, as well as our fire protection for this great city and parish. During these cold days, we ask that you protect each and every family as they run heating systems that maybe have not run throughout the year. We ask that you look over all our employees of the Lafayette Consolidated Government as they go out and continue to do the work of the public on behalf of the people. These things and all things we ask in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Boudreaux. Thank you, Mr. Patan. Appreciate it. Hope everyone had a great day and a great evening. We'd like to go ahead and get this meeting started. We welcome you to the City Parish Council meeting. We, as your representatives in the Lafayette Consolidated Government, welcome your involvement and encourage your participation. This meeting is a public hearing. If you wish to address the council on any item on this agenda, please fill out a blue request to address the council form, noting the agenda item number. The blue form is available to you in the foyer should you submit it to the council clerk, Ms. Veronica Williams, seated to my left in the middle, prior to the call of the agenda item. It is important to fill out the blue form completely and note the specific agenda item number about which you wish to speak about. If the card is not completely filled out or is not legible to the clerk, you will not be given that opportunity to speak at that time. If you have materials you wish to submit to the council, please give those to Ms. Veronica Williams along with your blue form. In an effort to allow everyone an opportunity to be heard, the 5-minute rule will be in effect. Speakers shall refrain from debating, personal attacks, and from making confrontational or derogatory comments. I am requesting that the first row to my left be used for media only. Lastly, food and drinks are not allowed in the auditorium. All phones, electronic devices shall be silenced from this point forward. Meeting procedures are by resolution and not by Robert's Rule of Order. Documents including agenda items and ordinance, resolution, and minutes related to this meeting are posted online at LafayetteLA.gov. The council encourages your involvement and participation by volunteering for boards and commissions. If you are interested in finding out which board suits you best, please call 291-8800 or pick up a pamphlet at the door. Couple announcements. Council member Jay Castile will not be in attendance due to a previous commitment. Also, I'd like to announce that item 21, the boundary ordinance, will be pulled from the in globo list for a separate vote and amendment to be provided to provide for state law requirement on a notification procedure. At this time, I'll go ahead and go to council announcements. All right. Mr. Boudreaux.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just have a few announcements. I want to congratulate the Northeast Gateway Coterie, as well as Trees of Acadiana and the Apache Corporation for the planting of over 80 trees on the Louisiana Avenue extension between Maryview Farm Road and Butcher Switch. I would also like to commend my colleague, Mr. Jay Castile, for assisting. We went out and we provided food and beverage for all the volunteers, which I think was in excess of about 100 men, women, and children. Also want to congratulate the Martin Luther King Holiday Committee for their efforts this weekend. It's being reported, not confirmed, that there were record numbers in attendance Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, beginning Saturday with the pageant, Sunday with the parade and the musical extravaganza, and Monday all day long at the Martin Luther King Center. where Karen Carter Peterson, the senator from New Orleans, was the commemorative speaker. Judge Ed Rubin serves as the parade marshal and luncheon speaker. And where Linda Melanson was honored. Many of you all may remember Linda Melanson as the mother of Jordan Chuck Melanson, the young man who was killed 1 year ago today. These types of activities also leads me to address the issue. There was an article recently in the Advertiser as it relates to council members' pay. And let me be clear, I realize that there are some people who feel council members should work for free, and that's your prerogative. But I guess I would ask that when you have the conversation on council pay, include council due. Kind of like employee pay, employee due. Just this past week, there was some utility work being done in my district, and I chose to just stop by the coincidence. And I refused to take the gentleman's picture because of the conditions, but it was amazing to look down in an 8-foot hole and see a guy changing a sewage line. And then when I have to come here and fight for people like that to receive pay raises as employees, as government employees, I tell you, I just don't get it at times. And then as a council member, when I compare myself to colleagues throughout the state and throughout the country as it relates to the budgets they manage, the perks that they receive, and I come back to Lafayette, which we all know is a very conservative community, and I come back to Lafayette, and you just cannot imagine the work that we do, at least some of us do, according to the pay. You know, I actually don't even think that maybe all 9 members should be paid the same. The article indicated, and I agree, that actually 5 of us serve on 2 boards. I'm responsible for both LPUA as well as council business. Some of us have taken on leadership positions. Some has never been in a leadership position, and that takes a lot more time, effort, and energy from your private life, like chairs and vice chairs. Some of us have chosen to get involved in professional associations like the Louisiana Municipal Association or the National League of Cities and take on office responsibility there. And then, like myself, you look at the highest volume of requests for services called in all of Lafayette. Okay, that's responding to people's needs, to constituents' needs. Serving as finance chair 4 of the 6 years that I've been here. And the list goes on and on. Neighborhood meetings, numerous times to be called in for dialogue with the administration as considerations are being made to do government business. So when I justify my pay, which you didn't get that, you only got what the pay was, you didn't get what we necessarily do. Not only do I look at membership, I look at leadership as well as service, okay? So I just wanted to share that tonight because there are some who say they have never taken a pay raise. And I don't know if this particular article is going to be revisited. But everybody on this council has received a pay raise, whether they ask for it or not. And what I would suggest is that those who are really interested, go and look at the salaries when 7 of these 9 members took office in 2008. And then look at the salaries in 2012 under a new term. When the standard shift, nobody denied that pay raise. No one chose to give it back. Everybody was bumped up to that new standard. And the same thing is going to happen in 3 more years if people choose not to speak out. So to speak in an article or to make comments talking about what I don't do and what I never do and what I don't believe in and what I didn't come here for is very misleading. So I would suggest that maybe another public records request be done and maybe the article continues on and look at people's pay since we've been here. That's public information, but only part of it was told. Every single member up here, with the exception of the 2 knock-hands, have received a pay raise since 2008, whether they wanted it or not, okay? Like we say, there's a cost to do business. And when you take the pride in the work, like I will say that I do, and you work as hard as I choose to work, I'm very comfortable in asking for and accepting my pay raise, regardless of who may not agree with it. Your opportunity will come in 2015. November, the ballot box will be open. I suggest that somebody step up. Okay? So, Mr. Chairman, I apologize, but I'm going to be leaving early because I'm going to go meet somebody who has courage and who don't talk to people through the media. I'm going to go meet Miss Linda Melanson now on Hilda Street, where her child was killed a year ago, a 22-year-old young man. The things that some of us deal with that others don't have to deal with. And I'm going to go be with her for about 15 or 20 minutes at a light vigil as I try to address the issue of getting guns out of our community and stopping gun violence in and around our city. That might not mean anything to some of you all, because maybe you don't experience it. Maybe you one who feel that everybody should have the right to bear arms, like myself, have about 30 weapons. But like I've told people on more than one occasion, a gun in the mountains of Montana or the hills of Mississippi or the woods of Louisiana is different than a gun in Truman, where I'm going right now. We're killing young black boys. And if you don't understand that, and if you don't understand certain people's call to service, shame on you. You should have trouble looking at yourself. So I'm going to do my job. I'm going to help my community. And I'll be back to finish this meeting, the second meeting of today that I've had. That's what service is, whether it's servicing you as an individual or servicing the entire community. Mr. Chairman, I apologize for going on like that, but I felt that needed to be addressed.
No problem.
Because we need to start telling the whole story. And everybody needs to fess up to what they're doing. And stop telling people you're not taking raises when you know your check you got in 2008 is not the same check you're getting now, and trying to put people out there on Front Street.
Thank you, Mr. Boudreaux. Next, have Councilman Shelvin.
Thank you. I'm not going to be as long as Councilman Boudreaux. Councilman, make sure you don't leave, because I'm riding with you over there in Truman. But I can't allow Mr. Boudreaux to steal all the thunder, since I'm the other person that took the 10% raise, and I actually agree with him. It's about service and what we do, and I went to the website and I looked up population, and the amount of people that all of us represent, respectively. If we were our own city, we'd be the 14th largest city in the state. The 14th largest city in the state, respectively, is how many people we represent if our districts were classified as a city by itself. Now, Councilman Boudreaux said this was his second meeting. This is actually my fifth meeting of the day. And if you take the 50 emails that I got today, the 20 phone calls and 37 text messages that I got to my non-city paid cell phone, and repeat that, to my non-city paid cell phone, that means that that's coming out of my pocket. Now, we're pretty much salaried employees, but for accounting purposes, it says that we actually make $13.47 per hour to do what we do. Now, some of us do more than that. For instance, when I'm at a funeral, like I was about 2 months ago, and someone walked up to me and wanted to talk about speed bumps. Now, that's not part of my responsibility to be talking about that at a funeral where I'm trying to view someone's body, but I still took the person's request, and when I got back into the office, I made sure that I put that RFS in. So we need to look at the whole picture, and typically, I'm going against what I've done since I've been in office. I typically don't respond to articles that's written, but I want to make sure that the people that I represent understand, because I got an email from one of my constituents, and what happens is when we write these articles, it gives a misunderstood perception of what we do as council members. And my constituent said that you put speed bumps and they temporarily removed it because they're going to have some work done, and the work hadn't been done yet, and I see since you got a raise, we need to make sure that works get done, so do your job. Me getting an extra $50 per week, what it amounts to, has absolutely nothing to do with the level of service in which that speed bump is going to return on the person's street. So with that being said, I don't take for granted what I do at all, and I took a serious pay cut, like I said in the article, when I took this service on, and I enjoyed every minute. I wouldn't change anything in the world for it. But at the end of the day, we need to keep in perspective the job and the service that some of us on this council does and completes, and it goes far beyond dollars and cents. So with that being said, hopefully my ride didn't leave I'll be back as well in 15, 20 minutes because there's a vigil that we're going to attend in my district. So thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shelton, thank you. Not seeing any others. I have a important announcement I'll go ahead and make at this time. Most of you out there are aware that since I've been elected in office, I've been through quite a bit as far as for a personal level, on a personal note with my family. My father is continuing to do very well with his pancreatic cancer. We have another follow-up in February, but I'm going to really ask the public for a lot of prayers and support and allow me to stay strong. But we found out last Wednesday that now my father-in-law, Ray Gerard from Broussard, has now been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So it's hit the family on both sides, and I'm going to try my best to finish and be strong, but I definitely will ask the council and administration and the public out there for your prayers and support as my wife and I continue to try to stay strong and move ahead and stay positive. But it has been a very, very tough few years since I've been in office. But nonetheless, so any prayers or any support out there would be great. So just want to let you know, Ray Gerard, praying for him. We're working on getting him into MD Anderson. Many of you might know I do have a pancreatic cancer foundation. Our event will be held May 30th, and we'll definitely be reaching out to the public for to raise money. 100% of the money goes towards research only, not administrative costs. And we raised $20,000 last year, and I'm going to push very hard to try to double that if I can. So nonetheless, we'll get started with the rest of the meeting, but I just wanted to make that announcement. So if I have to miss a few meetings this year, then you'll know why. So, all right, moving right along. Let's see. Okay, at this time, I'd like to recognize Parish President Durrell for his Executive President's Report. Just 1 second.
Thank you, all you part-timers. Appreciate y'all recognizing my report. Is there anyone here for the National Nurse Anesthetist Week? Oh, you want to come on up and I'll read the proclamation?
Yes, sir.
Whereas, yeah, that's good. Whereas certified registered nurse anesthetists, CRNAs, are essential to America's healthcare system, providing high-quality, cost-effective anesthesia care for 150 years, and who safely administer more than 34 million anesthetics to patients each year. Whereas CRNAs are the primary providers of anesthesia care in rural America, enabling healthcare facilities in these medically underserved areas to offer obstetrical, surgical, and trauma stabilization services. In some states, CRNAs are the sole providers in nearly 100% of the rural hospitals. And whereas CRNAs practice in every setting in which anesthesia is delivered, traditional hospital surgical suites and obstetrical delivery rooms, the offices of dentists, podiatrists, ophthalmologists, and plastic surgeons, ambulatory surgical centers, U.S. military and public health services, and military and Veterans Administration medical facilities. And whereas nurse anesthetists have been the main provider of anesthesia care to the United States military personnel in the front line since World War I, including current conflicts in the Middle East. Nurses first provided anesthesia to wounded soldiers during Civil War. And now, therefore, I, Joey Durrell, City Parish President of the Lafayette Consolidated Government, do hereby proclaim the week January 19th to 25th, 2014, as the 15th Annual National Nurse Anesthetist Week across the United States, and I urge all my fellow American citizens to join me in recognizing these outstanding healthcare professionals for their contribution in adding to the quality of life for our country. So if you want to talk a little bit about what this is all about and what you do.
Sure. Thank you. And thank you for the council for recognizing Nurse Anesthetist Week. I know it's a bit of a tongue twister. There are 43,000 nurse anesthetists in the United States of America. Louisiana has over 4,000 nurse anesthetists. And like the parish president said, we administer 34 million anesthetics a year. A lot of those are to your family members, some to you personally. We take great pride in providing high quality, very safe anesthesia. We're also proud to announce that anesthesia is now 50 times safer today than it was just in 1980. And that is in no small part to the hard work of the nurse anesthetists in this country. So on behalf of all of them, I'd like to thank you all.
All right. Anything else?
I think we have some bids to award.
Yes.
Thomasina?
Can you state your name for the record, just so?
Sure. Thomasina Oliver, Purchasing Manager.
Thank
Each of these items are LUS stock inventory materials. These are non-budgeted, therefore purchasing needs council approval to award these to the low evaluated bidders.
Okay. Got a motion by Councilman Don Bertrand, second by Councilman Andy Nakam. Any council discussion? Seeing none. Any blue cards?
6 votes.
Okay, let's go ahead and call the vote, Jeremy, please. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Moving right along, comments from the public. This portion of our meeting is an opportunity to make your voice heard before the council, the administration, and the public. This is the time to speak about topics that are not included on agenda items. Again, not included on the agenda items. As I noted earlier, requests to make comments specific to agenda items should be made prior to the call for that agenda item by completing a blue request to address the council form for each agenda item you wish to address, with that agenda item number noted on the blue form. Please, we request that all matters regarding specific city parish employees be directed to the administration and not to be addressed at this public forum. We, as a council, have a concern for the privacy and protection of government employees. With that said, however, if your concern is not resolved in either an expeditious or satisfactory fashion, there are other avenues which can be pursued, and we ask that you follow up with the council office. Also, confrontational statements and/or threats will not be tolerated. We ask that you conduct yourself in a civil manner with the same courtesy that you would expect of others. Please note that the 5-minute rule is in effect. And do we have any speakers?
Ray Green.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Ray. Go ahead and state your name for the record, sir, please.
My name is Ray Green. I live in District 6.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I'm spokesman for Project Armchair, and I'm giving you an update tonight on our activities. We're promoting friendly seating, chairs with arms, for seniors, handicapped, and disabled veterans. We're making some progress. We've gotten a second response from United States Representative Charles Bustani and the United States Department of Justice in regard to our requests. Unfortunately, the issue for an amendment to the Americans with Disability Act will not be brought up again until July of 2015, but we're not waiting. So, we have a Louisiana state senator and a Louisiana representative both working on bills to make our request a state issue. We're asking for people locally and statewide to call your state senators and representatives stating that you support Project Armchair. I think you have some information in front of you. The response will certainly impress them, I assure you. Without verbal support, it stops, and we're not going to let that happen. I've talked with many associations, groups, national companies, and government entities regarding this subject. Occasionally, someone will ask if I'm getting some local and city support. That's a good question. I need to respond to that question. This Thursday night, I'm speaking to a very large group of veterans, administration officers, veterans of foreign war veterans, and American Legion veterans. I would love to say that we have our city council and our parish council's verbal support. It would be very embarrassing if I had to say no. I cannot imagine anybody having any qualms or any disagreements with what we're trying to do for the seniors and the handicapped and the disabled veterans. Therefore, at this time, I'm asking for a volunteer to ask this council to vote for a resolution, to vote for verbal support promoting friendly seating, chairs with arms for public accommodation facilities for helping our seniors, handicapped, and disabled veterans. We're not asking for a dime from anybody. And by the way, we're talking about some 60,000 combined figures in Lafayette and Lafayette Parish alone. So, gentlemen, are you in favor of helping these individuals? We would like to get a vote from someone in regard to a resolution on this matter.
Hello, Mr. Ray. We have a couple of speakers. Councilman Bertrand would like to address you.
Okay?
I just want to let you know you have my support,
Thank you.
and
Can I tell people that?
certainly,
Okay.
certainly, that's what I'm telling you.
All right.
you
Well,
have
the
my
reason I ask, some people have told me that they support it, but they don't want me to mention their names.
That's fine. You're welcome to lend my name to it. And,
Thank you.
we can prepare a resolution for another meeting and help you get that support as well.
Did you ever try to get up without using your arms?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and having cared for those who have difficulty without an armchair. I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bertrand.
Okay.
Next, Mr. Ray, we have Councilman Andy Nakane.
Mr. Green, you definitely have my support, and I would like to co-author or co-sponsor that resolution, if that's possible, Ms. Veronica, to put something together for Mr. Green on that. I think it's a very worthwhile project. I've already made phone calls to our representatives, and I'll continue to make more phone calls for you, Mr. Green.
I made one the other day just to see what was going on, and they recognized my voice.
I love it.
Thank you so much. We
Keep up the
appreciate
good
it.
work.
It's
Keep
a
up the
very
good work.
worthwhile cause.
Hold on one second, Mr. Ray. We
Yes,
have
sir.
another speaker. Councilman Terrio.
Mr. Green, thank you for coming and joining us. One quick question for you. I noticed you made a comment that this would not be asking for any monetary funds or anything like that. But under the Americans with Disabilities Act, if this were to be an amendment to this, would this, and I'm asking your opinion because you probably know more about this than we do, thank you. Would this require businesses and other areas of government, new structures, to have to provide those armchairs at their expense?
Good question. It would not cost the government one dime. All we're asking for example, restaurants that have a seating capacity of, say, 100, all we're asking for is 5%. And if they can't afford them, we will get them for them free if I have to get out and go house to house asking for donations. But we will be getting some. My time's almost up. May I share one little experience?
Oh,
with
you have time as long as you're speaking with one of us. Go ahead, Mr. Green.
Okay. I was on one of the TV channels a couple of weeks ago, and the next morning I had to go to Walmart for some medicine. As I was getting out of this car, this lady walked over and she says, "Are you Mr. Green? Did I see you on TV last night?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. My father hasn't been out of the house for 2 years because he's sick and tired of having to have somebody to help him get up out of a chair. He won't even go to church anymore. And so thank you for your support." And I said, "You're welcome." And I'll always remember that. It touched my heart deeply. So if we can help a few people, it's not asking too much, gentlemen. One of these days you're going to be seniors. I hope you won't be handicapped. And I don't think we have any disabled veterans, but it means a lot to them to help them keep their dignity and their pride. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Green, I would say, and I'm just speaking on my behalf, not anybody else, but I would say the majority of people agree with you, and we understand your concerns. The young individual that met you and walked up to you, if you remember, she said, "Are you Mr. Green?" It should have been, "Are you the Mr. Green?" Am I correct?
If you say so, Mr. D. William Terrio.
No, Mr. Green, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Ms. Veronica, any other blue cards?
Next speaker, Marianne Vaccaro.
Okay.
again for Carroll District 8. Gentlemen, Dr. King once said that a man's life ends when he decides to remain silent over matters that are important. Tonight, I focus on a concern within the new service contract now in effect regarding Saturday ride scheduling services for paratransit riders and reservations for rides on Sundays and LCG holidays. You have before you tonight a letter I delivered today to Tom Carroll pertaining to information on the subject of the scheduling rides on Saturday. Just to try to make the long story short, I held discussions, and I held many discussions with both Dee Stanley and Tom Carroll. Both men agreed that Saturday bus service is like Monday through Friday. Saturdays is a work day for bus service, city bus service, paratransit bus service. In the new contract, something of a letter or memo I had hoped would have been sent to all current riders needing to know about the availability of this service. And again, I asked Mr. Stanley and Mr. Carroll to make sure this would have been done, in advance of the first Saturday that this would be made available. To date, nothing has been sent. The last-minute information that Acadiana Transit got through Mr. Carroll at Mr. Stanley's directive, with the information that they had, the vendor somehow, let's just say, got the information and things went askew. They went contrary to what Mr. Carroll and Mr. Stanley agreed about Saturday's service being treated like Monday through Friday. Moreover, just recently, I spoke to Mr. Stanley about needing to amend, I'll say, this portion of the new contract. Amending is not an overnight process. It has to go through channels. But in the meantime, you should know that Saturday bus service scheduling rides should be like Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock to 4:30, according to our Rider's Guidebook, with cancellations to be made up till 4 o'clock. Y'all should know too, gentlemen, that we mirror the same service hours as Lafayette Transit, so there are no Sunday rides. All I can say is Sunday is a day of rest, to just give the soul a chance to be uplifted. Our Creator rested. We should too. That is my personal opinion. Mr. Stanley conferred on Mr. Carroll a very lofty title. He calls him the new transportation sheriff in town. So I would ask that the new transportation sheriff, the new director, I would ask that he would do his best, make a personal effort to put something in writing for those who are currently riding the system, and that he would meet personally, and step up to the plate with Mr. Sarver and his staff to try to make a difference with this new document. I want to thank him in advance for his courtesy and to try to get the Acadiana Transit out of this murky confusion that they seem to be in. And I would also say that I gave Mr. Mike Hebert a copy of the letter I sent to Mr. Carroll. And I'm going to try to call Mr. Hebert, and I've asked Mr. Hebert to try to call me, because this is legal. And Mr. Hebert's secretary told me that he would be happy to speak to me as long as this was regarding city business, and this is legal city business. Thank you very much. And Mr. Durrell, someday I'll ask you something too about a contract and how you look at contracts.
Thank
And
you,
I
Ms.
wanna
Vaquero.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, and I don't know, would there be anyone
Not
that
at-
needs any questions answered?
The board, I don't see any council discussion. Thank you so much, Ms. Vaquero.
Thank you, Karen.
Next speaker, Joshua Montgomery.
Welcome, Josh.
How you guys doing this evening, council? I'm the newly elected APWU president concerning the clerk membership with the Lafayette, Louisiana Postal Service. I want to thank you guys again for the resolution that you guys put together in 2011, showing your support when we were under the consolidation. I just wanted to provide an update to the council. I hope to make this an agenda item at the next meeting, but just for the 5 minutes that we have the open mic, I would like to say that the consolidation has already occurred. A lot of your constituents, a lot of the people that we serve as customers are already feeling it. As a former window clerk, a lot of the customers that I used to work with every day usually see me, recognize me in the mall, in the stores, or wherever, and ask me questions about why they're getting their mail later, why their services are taking longer to get one letter from this side of Lafayette to the south side of Lafayette, or even to your neighbor. No matter what side of Lafayette you live on, it takes an extra day for the mail to come back from Baton Rouge to our Lafayette facility for processing. Now, just to keep everything short and sweet, just back in 2011, November 2011, we had our AMP study for Lafayette and New Orleans centers that may be closed. We are only halfway there right now, thank God, because we only have 75 employees remaining in our facility, and the consolidation, if we close the entire facility, called for losing 84 jobs. Mr. Shelvin was there at the time that we had this AMP study, and he had also cited the council members' resolution to help keep us open. What I'm asking of the council is that you guys make the city's resources available to us, the resources that we don't have, like Mr. Mike Hebert's services, because we were looking into possible judicial actions concerning the Postal Service and reviewing if they actually followed the federal regulations for consolidation. I'm not sure if you guys have also known, but the Lake Charles facility was consolidated a couple of years ago, and we absorbed all their work. We gained no new employees once we absorbed all their work, and we are now handling 1/4 of the state's mail volume. Just to give you guys an idea, we had 8 facilities originally in the state of Louisiana. Now we're down to 4, so it's about a 50% capacity cut in the capacity to handle mail services. Our area, the smallest facility, mail processing facility left in the state, is handling 1/4 of the state's mail volume, especially in the more rural areas of Lake Charles area and the Lafayette area. So I just wanted to ask you guys for your continued support on this matter. If we can, I would like to make that an agenda item for the next meeting on the 28th and speak with some of you guys to see how you guys feel about working along with the APWU to help us maintain this facility in Lafayette, Louisiana. Like I said, we already lost half of our mail capacity for outgoing mail. We're only working on, for incoming mail, outgoing mail, we're currently working on only incoming mail into the city. And from reports I've been hearing, this is only rumors, but the Baton Rouge facility is putting our mail second to theirs, which is to be expected because they're trying to maintain the service to their customers first. The New Orleans facility was under consolidation, but under the work of Mitch Landrew and Mary Landrew, they were able to maintain their facility, and now there's no reference to them being consolidated at all. So it's much harder usually to reverse such a move, but that's the current situation that we're in, and hopefully we can get you guys support. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Next, Ms. Farrar.
He was the final speaker.
Final speaker, okay. Thank you so much. All right, we'll move to ordinance for final adoption. I'd like to announce that this is a public hearing and that the blue sheets are available for anyone wishing to address the council. The 5-minute rule is in effect. Chairman, can you please read the first ordinance?
Ordinance 272, 2013, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the official map of the City of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette, Louisiana, 2817, 2821, and 2825 Vero School Road annexation, located generally north of La Nouvelle Road, east of Vero School Road, and south of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 7 for voting purposes.
Need a motion, sir. Okay, we got a motion by Councilman Don Bertrand, second by Councilman Andy Nakane. Not seeing any council discussion. Blue cards?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Chairman, can you please call the vote?
District 3, District 4, District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
District 9.
Yes.
District 1.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Read the next one, Chairman.
Ordinance 273, 2013, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the official map of the City of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette, Louisiana, cottages on the Green annexation, located generally north of Burden Road, west of Kali Saloom Road, and south of Peck Boulevard, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 8 for voting purposes.
Got a motion by Councilman Andy Nakane, second by Councilman Bertrand. I'm not seeing any council discussion. Any blue cards, Ms.
No,
Veronica?
sir.
None? Okay. Chairman, can you please call the roll?
District 5.
Yes.
District 6.
Yes.
District 7.
Yes.
District 8.
Yes.
District 9.
Yes.
District 1.
Yes.
Approved.
Read the next one.
Ordinance 280, 2013, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the building or structure located at 219 Deer Street, Lafayette, Louisiana, owned by John David Ausalone, care of Gerald J. Block, attorney appointed, to be dilapidated and dangerous to the public welfare, and ordering the condemnation of same.
All right. Got a motion by Councilman Andy Nakane, second by Councilman Bertrand. Y'all fold pictures of the, should be in your folders. Not seeing any council discussion. Any blue cards?
No, sir.
None? Okay. Chairman, please call the roll.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes?
District 5?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 1, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 13-14 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing revenues in the amount of $12,412 received from the United States Marshals Service, appropriating within the Lafayette City Marshal's Office.
All right. Got a motion by Councilman Don Bertrand, second by Councilman Andy Nakane. Not seeing any council discussion. Any blue cards?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Chairman, please call the roll.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 2, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the filing of an application with the Louisiana Endowment for the Humanities for a grant for the Lafayette Public Library.
All right. Got a motion by Councilman Andy Nakane, second by Councilman Don Bertrand. Not seeing any council discussion at this time. Any blue cards?
No, sir.
Okay. Chairman, please call the roll.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
Motion is approved. Ordinance 3, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the Lafayette City Parish President to enter into a railroad force account work agreement with BNSF Railway Company for BNSF Railway Company to install concrete crossing panels and crossing signal equipment at Kali Saloom Road in order to improve the intersection.
Got a motion by Councilman Bellard, second by Councilman Don Bertrand. Not seeing any council discussion. Any blue cards, Ms. Veronica?
No, sir.
No? Chairman, can you please call the vote?
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes?
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right. Moving on to announcements on vacancies on boards and commission. Chairman, can you please read the vacancies?
Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Board of Zoning Adjustment, alternate number 2, for a 3-year term effective January 19th, 2013. Individuals wishing to submit their resume for this volunteer position must be domiciled within the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette. Individuals must also be able to prove ownership of property within Lafayette Parish. Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Acadiana Resource Conservation and Development Commission for a 3-year term effective February 2nd, 2012. Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Keep Lafayette Beautiful Committee for a 2-year term effective December 1st, 2012. Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Evangeline Thruway Redevelopment Team for a 1-year term effective May 3rd, 2013. Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Evangeline Thruway Redevelopment Team for a 3-year term effective April 17th, 2013. Due to term expiration, a vacancy exists on the Evangeline Thruway Redevelopment Team for a 4-year term effective April 17th, 2013. Individuals wishing to submit a resume for the above volunteer vacancies must be a registered voter and a resident of Lafayette Parish. Act 472 of the 2008 Louisiana Legislative Session, now codified as LARS 421124.2.1, requires financial disclosure under certain circumstances. Resumes are to be forwarded to Veronica L. Williams, Clerk of the Council, P.O. Box 4017C, Lafayette, Louisiana 70502, or email to bclafayette@lafayette.la.gov no later than noon, Tuesday, February 4th, with council appointment to be made on February 18th, 2014.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'd just like to announce on here that Ms. Veronica and I have had several discussions, and it's really important that we let people know that there are positions out here and appointments that we need to fill, and if anybody is interested, to please contact Ms. Veronica Williams. She's been pushing real hard to let people know what's out there, and we try to encourage the public to get involved, and that's a great opportunity. So just wanted to say keep doing a good job, Veronica, and we'll try to get some people to help fill those vacancies. So, all right, Chairman, can you please, we'll move on now to appointments by council members and our city parish president. Chairman, can you please read the direct appointments?
The President of the Veterinary Association of Acadiana, Dr. Mark Bartolon, appoints Dr. Pete Van Duzy to the Lafayette Animal Control Board for a 4-year term effective January 1st, 2014. District 9 Councilmember William Terrio appoints Elizabeth Webb to the Lafayette Animal Control Board for a 4-year term effective August 1st, 2013. District 9 Councilmember William Terrio appoints Darrell Buffy Macy to the Lafayette City Parish Recreation Advisory Commission for a 4-year term effective December 1st, 2013.
All right, moving along to introductory ordinances. This will be handled in Globo. I need a motion and a second from the council to consider the ordinances in Globo. Items 22 to 28. Got a motion by Councilman Bellard and a second by Councilman Andy Nakam. Chairman, can you please read the ordinances?
Ordinance 7, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the official map of the City of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette, Louisiana, 939 West Pont de Mouton Road annexation, located generally north of Sonny Roy Lane, east of North University Avenue, and south of West Pont de Mouton Road, which is located within Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 3 for voting purposes. Ordinance 8, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the official map of the City of Lafayette, providing for the annexation of additional land into the corporate limits of the City of Lafayette, Louisiana, Industrial Parkway, Mecca Drive annexation, located generally north of East Vero School Road, east of West Pinhook Road, and south of South College Road, which is located within the Lafayette City Parish Council District Number 7 for voting purposes. Ordinance 9, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 13-14 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by increasing revenues in the amount of $1,724,200 in staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grant funds received from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and amending the manning table and personnel costs for the reorganization of the Lafayette Fire Department. Ordinance 10, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the fiscal year 13-14 operating budget of the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government by transferring $68,594 from the Settlers Trace Extension and the Ambassador Caffrey Rehabilitation Project Phase 5 projects to the CNG Upgrade PWFM Facility Project within the Public Works Department for additional funding needed. Ordinance 11, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council amending the Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government Code of Ordinances, Chapter 94, Article 4, Section 94-208, payments to developer for underground line extensions for residential development. Ordinance 12, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council authorizing the filing of an application with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development and the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission by the Lafayette Metropolitan Planning Organization and the Lafayette Police Department. Ordinance 13, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council declaring the building or structure located at 131 Wainwright Road, Rear House, Lafayette, Louisiana, owned by Dan Harmon Jr. and Crescentia Harmon Cotton, to be dilapidated and dangerous to the public welfare and ordering the condemnation of same.
All right, is there any council discussion on what was just read? Not seeing any. Any blue cards on the items that were just introduced in Globo?
No, sir.
Huh? Okay, Chairman, can you please call the vote on Globo?
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right. Now we're going to move to number 21, which was pulled separate out of Globo. Chairman, can you please read that ordinance?
Ordinance 6, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council providing for the reestablishment of the parish boundary line between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes by providing for the following: accepting the survey and findings of Mike Mayu and of MP Mayu Surveying and Boundary Consulting, LLC, at the location of the parish boundary line between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes west of the Vermilion River, allocating and appropriating the sum of $30,000 for further surveying and research to reestablish the location of the parish boundary line between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes east of the Vermilion River, and to provide for related matters.
I need a motion and a second. I got a motion from Councilman Bertrand. Need a second. Second by Keith Patan, Councilman Patan, sorry about that. I see that we have right, all right,
Chairman, I can explain the amendment.
okay. I'll refer to Attorney Mr. Mike. Let's see, okay, you're available.
Mr. Chairman, before you is a proposed amendment to this ordinance for the following reasons. The point was made, and I think it's well taken, that in order for this ordinance to be meaningful, the procedural requirements of the pertinent state statute, primarily revised statute 50-221, need to be followed. Those provide for some time period before the boundary of an adjoining parish can be fixed where there's a dispute. So what the amendment to this ordinance does in several places is convert it from an ordinance which partially accepts one portion of the survey of the boundary that was previously done to instead setting a time and place for the fixing of the boundary in accordance with state law. So I think if I just read the changed title, I think it'll kind of explain the rest. The title as changed would read as follows: An ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council providing for the fixing of the parish boundary line between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes by providing for the following: fixing a time and place for starting the running of said boundary in accordance with the pertinent provisions of Louisiana Revised Statute 50-221 et seq., allocating and appropriating the sum of $30,000 for further surveying and research to reestablish the location of the parish boundary line between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes east of the Vermilion River, and to provide for related matters. Those changes and things that accomplish that change are carried through in the whereas clauses of the ordinance to delete the references of accepting the previous survey west of the Vermilion River, and to change it again to fix a time and place for starting the survey. The statute that I referenced requires that, I presume it goes back from the old horse and buggy days where you had to account for enough time for somebody to get their wagon over to wherever you were fixing the boundary, but it requires a 6-month lead time. So what this ordinance would now do is set a time which is actually in excess of 7 months to account for the time period for which the ordinance will become effective and the time necessary to give proper notice. And the ordinance would fix the time and place for starting the running of the boundaries in accordance with that statute at September 15th, 2014 at 10 o'clock a.m. at the Louisiana Highway 92 bridge at Granger Coulee, west of Maurice, Louisiana. So that is, that's the general
explains the
purpose
amendment.
of the amendment.
Okay.
There's also one additional amendment that's not reflected in the red line that is provided to you that we caught this afternoon shortly before the meeting, and that is in the last whereas clause. It says LCG now also desires to allocate the sum of $30,000 for further surveying and research to reestablish the location of the existing common boundary between Lafayette and Vermilion parishes. That says west, and it should say east of the Vermilion River. So that plus all the other amendments that are reflected in the red line would now be appropriate to be made.
Okay, at this time, I'd ask for a motion or a second. All right, got a motion by Councilman Patance, second by Councilman Bertrand on the amendment. Any discussion on the amendment that just was made? Mr. Dunn, Mr. Bertrand, you still need to talk or clear the floor? Okay. Not seeing any questions here. Any blue cards on the amendment that was just made?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's call a vote on the amendment.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right. Any discussion on the ordinance as amended? Not seeing any. Oh, okay, sorry. Councilman Bellard has a question. You're hot.
All right, can you give Mr. Abear a shot? Mr. Abear, can you educate the council on that, they still have litigation, and is it ongoing right now, or where are we right now on this particular issue with the boundary agreement?
There is at the moment, at least technically, ongoing litigation over the boundary issue. An argument has been made that the litigation is subject to what we call abandonment for lack of action by either party for a 3-year period within the litigation. That has not been done. That argument has simply been made. There are arguments to the contrary, but be that as it may, even the consequence of abandonment would not, there's no particular prescriptive period, that statute of limitations that runs to prevent further challenge to the boundary. So even if it were to be determined that that particular suit had been abandoned, there's no bar to filing a second and subsequent suit.
So as of now, there is nothing filed, if that ran out, or am I?
If the abandonment was found if the abandonment argument is correct, then there would be no current lawsuit at that point. The lawsuit would be dismissed.
Okay. And can you get Councilman Bertrand hot, please?
Sure. Mr. Bertrand, you on?
Councilman Bertrand, the only other question I have is the $30,000, how we came about that number. And I knew we had a previous ordinance where we had a boundary dispute, and I don't think any money was used to resurvey. The only thing I would ask is what's the difference and why on this one and not the other?
Well, the difference on this one is the cost of the research and the survey on the west side was handled either by the parties in the suit, the Duyaw family, or costs that were paid by Conrad Como's office in his research of the boundary. So LCG actually paid nothing for the research on the west side. What we're looking to do here is the same type of research on the east side of the boundary to get the best evidence of what the boundary is according to the legal description of the Act 82 of 1844, if my memory serves me correctly, and which is what we did on the west side.
Right. And one other question, do we know how many families, is this rural property where, is there people going to be changing from Vermilion Parish to Lafayette Parish after all this litigation and this passes forward? And you might not have that information, but for final, just let me know who's affected, I guess would be the other thing to know for the public. Property owners, that's correct, Councilman Pate.
On the west side, we may be able to get you an estimate. On the east side, there's no way of knowing right now. But after the research is done, we'll follow the same procedures using the same forensic methods that give us the best results of the best evidence of the Legislative Act of 1844, which is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to match the legal description of the southern boundary between Lafayette and Vermillion as stated in the Act number 82 of 1844.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bellar. Thank you, Councilman Bertrand, for your discussion and knowledge. At this time, is there any blue cards on the ordinance as amended? None? Okay. Chairman, can you please call the vote on the ordinance as amended?
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
8?
Yes.
District 9?
Yes.
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
Is approved.
We'll adjourn that meeting. Go ahead, we'll start our second meeting. Call to order. Chairman, can you please read the ordinance?
Ordinance 14, 2014, an ordinance of the Lafayette City Parish Council ratifying the settlement of the lawsuit entitled Melissa L. Dupois, A. Veer versus Lafayette City Parish Consolidated Government, bearing docket number C 2009-7362E, filed in the 15th Judicial District Court, Lafayette Parish, Louisiana, and authorizing the Lafayette City Parish President to acquire immovable property in connection with the settlement of such lawsuit.
All right, need a motion, a second. Got a motion by Councilman Bertrand, second by Councilman Andy Nakhan. Seeing any council discussion? None? Blue cards?
No, sir.
All right, Chairman, please call the vote.
District 1?
Yes.
District 5?
Abstain.
District 6?
Yes.
District 7?
Yes.
District 8?
Yes.
District 9?
No.
Motion fails.
All righty. Meeting's adjourned. See you next meeting. Thank you.